Hey everyone, welcome to your Moon in Virgo reading. This reading is timeless and signless, as you must know by now, because it deals with energy. However, I am setting the intention of reading for the Moon in Virgo, which ranges from, I believe, October 20th, 2022 to October 23rd, 2022. That's going to be early in the day, early in the morning. Around 1 something a.m. on October 23rd. Anyway, if you're open to having a personal reading and or energy healing session with me, please do find all of the information that you need on my at my Etsy page. Okay, thanks, Spirit. Look at them, they're already like 3 of Pentacles. We're here, we're working together. Thank you. 6 of Swords, moving this ship forward. All right, so let's jump in. Whoops, let's jump into this energy right away. So guys, right now we are moving into the moon in the sign of Virgo. Okay, and what I'm feeling is that, yeah, we're at a good place in the sense that the energy is kind of still, it's kind of placid. It's a regroup time. It's a time to connect with your, I heard ancients, you know, your ancestors, if you will. It's time to regroup with your spirit team, with yourself, with God, right? So it's time to really take a breather, to look within, contemplate, reflect, all of these things that you would like to say match the energy of stillness. But remember, still waters run deep. Don't get into this mindset that, oh, everything's kind of calm, everything's stagnant, everything's really, how you interpret this energy is going to be dependent on you. I just want to point that out. Some of you may experience it as stagnation. Others may experience it as rest. Some of you may be like twiddling your thumbs. Okay, well, what's next? I mean, you know, like that eerie feeling of being in the eye of a hurricane, right? You're like, well, what am I doing? What's going on? Twiddling my thumbs. So how you experience this time is going to be dependent upon you. But, and what you've got going on in your energy field. But generally speaking, this is a little bit of a pause time. It's a timeout. But as I was saying, still waters run deep. So don't get ahead of yourself thinking, oh, things are great. You know, like, oh my God, I'm feeling good. I'll get off my medication now. You know, that's oddly specific. So maybe that's for somebody. But you get the idea and the analogy. Instead of resting on your laurels for right now, take a rest, take a pause, self-reflect, regroup, enjoy, connect with spirit, connect with self. You know, but you can also get a little bit of a jump on what's to come. You know, do a little house cleaning. I'm seeing people thatching their roofs. You know, just getting some things done that, you know, maybe if you know a storm's coming, or maybe if you just want to get ahead of the season, whatever the season is for you, whether it's tax season, whatever it is, that's oddly specific too. Whatever it is, this is the time to cross your T's, dot your I's, get your errands done, but not in a stressful way, okay? So I also want to point out, yeah, you've got great guides here, but I do kind of get a feeling that around this time, many of you may be, and I almost feel like I want to say this in a kind way. That's the impression I'm getting, because remember, I am channeling you guys. So the way they're communicating it, the way the energy feels, it's like I, the reader, want to say in a kind way, you're overlooking some advice that's coming your way. That's it sounds like a kind way, because some of you may just all out be ignoring it. Any advice coming your way, you may be judging it, you may be pushing it aside, you may be shoving it aside, you may be cutting certain people out, you may be, you know, making the messenger the enemy instead of looking at the message. It's true that the message can be lost in the delivery. History has shown us that many times, right? Including with some organizations that advocate for people and animals. We won't get into specifics. Sometimes the message gets lost in the delivery. But that being said, you know, and that's an expression point, right? That's someone who's expressing. That's a lesson they all have to learn, you know. Things get lost in delivery, so be mindful. The pen is mightier than the sword, so be mindful. You're responsible for what you put out there, so be mindful. But let's look at the receptive side. So the receptive side here is, yes, things can get lost in the in the delivery. But because you know that, it behooves many of you to pay attention to the message and not the messenger. All right, so look deeper to see what the lesson is in what's coming towards you, what the message is in what. Why am I stumbling over my words? Well, I mean, I'm talking about throat chakra stuff, but if you notice, I'm like struggling right now. Focus on the message. Right, exactly, as if to punctuate, as if to accentuate the moment. So don't kill the messenger. Stay out of ad hominem arguments. Somebody brings you a message you don't like. Instead of looking at the message, you attack the person. You know, they're saying, hey, you can't keep stumbling in here drunk every night. It's disruptive to the family and to yourself. So, and if you engage in ad hominem rhetoric, you're like, oh yeah, well, remember the summer of '96 when you stumbled in? Hey, let's get back to the point. It's not about me. It's not about cousin Joseph. It's about you and what you're doing in the now moment. Let's stay focused, right? So that's somebody, if you're in a receptive place, one of the things you want to make sure right now is that you're not dismissing what is being communicated to you. And one of the ways that I'm sensing some of you may be dismissing these things is by focusing on the messenger and judging and attacking and avoiding the whole point, right? And there are some other ways that Spirit just kind of mentioned before that. But anyway, another thing I see going on right now during this little pause is that some of you maybe, so cute, this is so cute. I'm seeing your inner children. I'm seeing this cute little girl looking like around age 8. Some of you I'm vibing with age 10. I'm feeling some of you at age 14. Of course, there's some 16s in there as well. And of course, I say inner child, but it doesn't have to be one of those minor ages. It could also be an age that, an aspect of you that's at an older age than what we would consider to be a child. But these energies are observing what you're doing. They're observing what you're doing. They're observing what you're doing, and they're observing what you're doing. What do I mean by that? Great question. Remember, your conscious mind perceives of itself as being one monolithic being. But the truth is, with many likes and dislikes and conflicting ideas and complementary ideas, but actually what it is that you are your personality, of course, which is one aspect of your soul, but you're carrying other aspects of your soul, other aspects of yourself. You've been fragmented by trauma. You're carrying traumatized aspects from past lives. All these things, these are all parts of your soul, and they're quote unquote with you. So when you're experiencing uncertainty and indecision and things like this is because it's not just one consciousness within you. It all belongs to you in a sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Those are attachments. That's another thing altogether. We're not addressing that right now. We're looking at you, right? But you have to understand that you have inner conflict, and that results as outer conflict. And it can be something as simple as, I'm hungry. Great, we all agree I'm hungry, but kind of feel like I want pizza, and then part of me is like, no, I want Chinese food, and then another part of me is like, maybe I should cook. I've always wanted to cook, and now's a good time to do this, and maybe I shouldn't. What's wrong with me? I'm spending too much money. It's too much, okay? That's because you have conflicting energies within, and that's just on one end of the spectrum, and that's just about needing to make a decision about food. And sometimes you might be so lazy and so tired, you're like, bump it, I'm just gonna go to sleep and hopefully fall asleep before my stomach gets too hungry, right? So but there are more serious decisions in life that we make, and many decisions take us day to day, and what decisions we end up making really do inform the quality of our life. You will continue to manifest a path before you, multiple paths before you, until you transition to spirit, right? Into spirit. But what paths reveal themselves to you are only those paths, I can never say that word, those paths. Anyway, only those roads only those opportunities, whatever, those timelines, the only ones that reveal themselves to you and make it into your conscious awareness that you perceive of yourself as choosing from, those were only the ones that we're able to garner enough magnetism and energy and appeal based on what energies you're carrying within. And it was so strong enough that they manifested before you. And what is going to become strong enough are those paths that I guess align the most with your mood at the time, your conditioning, your beliefs, all those things. So when Spirit says there are many options that you can take, you may perceive of yourself down here as only having 3. And you'll make a great case for that. You'll speak in terms of logic and in terms of what feels right and all of these things. And God said, and I saw a sign, and this reader saw this. Yeah, everything is sounding logical and making sense to you because the core belief that you have is directing those to feel strong enough that they feel right and ethical and good and bad. But you have to understand that if your core beliefs are already skewed and based on unloving beliefs, I'm not good enough, I'll never amount to anything, the world is out to get me, I don't belong, guess what? The rest of whatever thoughts you think and emotions you feel and your knee-gut reactions, we say this every video. I'm like, guys, but the guides are getting it out there. They're hammering it in. They say it all the time. You have to look at your core beliefs. It's not enough. You're not sophisticated in your energy if you're just stopping at the conscious mind and doing your cost-benefit analysis and really doing your best to take a well-rounded approach. But it's not enough anymore to just be logical about it, because things are going to seem logical to you. It's going to seem reasonable to you to pick up this gun and go across the world and, take action. For who? Then your mind will give you ideas and your heart will give you ideas and your feelings and it doesn't matter, you see? These are all based on core beliefs. So the whole point is you have to individuate, go within, try to understand what are these core beliefs. And that's an inner journey that you just have to take. It's a discovery journey. It's a journey that we aspire to every lifetime. But every lifetime we get closer and closer to being able to take those leaps because, well, mastery requires it. When you do it, which lifetime you do it is really up to you. You're gathering experience. But one day you'll be like, you know what? I'm ready to look. And that's just as I did this, I'm ready to look. They're showing me this card. Look at how he's doing the same motion. And it's on the 3 of Pentacles, work together. The guides are like, we out here. I paraphrased that. They're probably like, we're here. Hello, we're here. Ask us for something. And that's just what you have to do. Hey, guys, can you show me something new about myself? Done. It's coming. Can you show me something I don't want to know about myself, but show it to me in a nice way because I'm really sensitive? Done. It's coming. Guys, who in my lifetime can I really trust? It's coming. You have to ask. And I know you're like, but Jay, I'm on my hands and knees. I've been praying for money. I've been praying for this. I've been praying for that. Well, if you've been asking for these things and it's not coming, then it's not a reflection of Spirit and its ability to provide for you and whether or not you're deserving of it. No, it's most likely an issue with communication and receptivity. So under this moon in Virgo, just in this general atmosphere right now, Saturn's doing a thing right now. The whole point that's going on right now is there's a little bit of a standstill. Energies are at a standstill. When things are at a standstill, when things are quiet, when things are the guides are saying purge free, there's a little bit of a pause from purging, I get as well, for some of us, right? Obviously some of us are in a cycle of purging, but there's a little bit of a purging pause too. The PP, purge pause, pause and purging, right? So when the energies kind of flatline a bit, that's great. Pay attention to what bloop you get. What are the bloops on the monitor? If you want to isolate your allergies, guess what? Cut out as many foods as you can. Get back to bread and water. Oh my God, bread. Jay, did you just hear yourself? Get back to water and some safe item. Then gently reintroduce one by one the dairy, the carbs, the bread, the gluten, whatever it is, and see if that's it. If you are suspecting that you're very sensitive to energy and something's throwing you off, guess what? Social media cleanse. Take some time away from people, maybe like a week or two. Ghost. Let them know, like, hey guys, I need to like feel into my energy. Your true friends will understand that. They're not gonna make it about them. Like, what do you mean? You don't like us? What are you, like, am I toxic? Like, get out of here, right? We don't need that. We don't need that kind of friendship. You need to go on a hiatus, clear yourself, and then little by little allow your energy to get back into certain things, right? You get the point. Ground zero. So right now we're a little bit of a ground zero moment. We are just relaxed. So the point is, this is the perfect time to become aware of yourself. How do you respond in your day-to-day? Take some time, sit with yourself. You can also reach out to your friendly local reader like me, or other people who are friendly and can help you on this journey. This is not to say to give your power away to them, okay? So all we can do is read the energy for you. This is what's coming through, and of course connect with your spirit team and relay those messages, convey those messages, right? But it's still up to you to determine which fountain you'd like to drink from. There's so many readers, there's so many doctors, there's so many dentists, there's so many mechanics. You want to be with energies that help you to feel safe, energies that don't make it about them, but make it about facilitating your journey so that you can arrive at what it is that's going on. We're not out here to give you fish, we're out here to teach you to fish. And I would actually say it's not even teaching you how to fish. It may feel like being taught how to fish. It's reminding you how you already know how to fish. So that's what we're out here doing. So right now, take some time to call back your energies, chill for a bit, monitor what's going on, self-reflect, call in your higher self, the higher self of you that's most aligned with the goodness of source energy, the love of source energy, all of these things. All right. Let's see. What's next? Yeah, the guides are saying verbatim, you are your own creator. That's it. That's all our galactic cousins. The galactic cousins who are most invested in helping us to reach our own evolution. Those galactic cousins, which many people would just say ETs, right? But our galactic cousins who are most benevolent and focused on facilitating our personal and collective personal and collective so funny ascension and evolution. That's all they want to communicate. You are your own creator. And that's such a simplified but such a true statement. Here, when we are on earth, these things don't make sense to us. They sound wrong. Some people may actually be angered by it. How dare you say that? You're saying I created this for myself? I wouldn't do this to myself. And you could feel the anger, the bitterness, the hate. And that's where you are. That's where you are, and it's understandable because we're here and we're contending with the physical experience. But you have to understand from their perspective, which is from another dimension altogether, able to see this, that, and the other of the third dimension. They're able to see and assist. And many of them, well, most of them, if not all of them, have already passed through where we are. And so they've come back to offer some guidance for us, okay? Now, where you are is what's going to determine how you receive this kind of energy, these kinds of messages. And it doesn't matter. Spirit is willing to work with you at whatever point in your evolution, in your experience on Earth, whatever it is, wherever you are, there is collaboration for you. And we see this here. It's like these two cards, like it's right there. Speaking of these two cards, let's see. 8 of Pentacles Six of Pentacles. I love that. Work. Eight of Pentacles. Look at him, literally creating. Literally creating. And then we've got this Six of Pentacles. What I'm taking away from this Six of Pentacles here, the way it's presenting itself, is it's giving me a little bit of Emperor. What is it? The Emperor in his new clothes. The Emperor's New Clothes. Not to be confused with The Emperor's New Groove, which was an understated movie. That was great. I love that movie. But anyway, the Emperor's New Clothes, basically this person, this emperor had a lot of yes men around him, and he got conned into believing that his new clothes were, number one, awesome, and number two, that they were visible. They were actually, he was wearing nothing. They were invisible. Like, he was wearing nothing. But everyone was like, yeah, looks great, looks great. They sent this man right out into the streets. Naked as a jaybird. All right. And hey, if that's what he's about, do it. But a little bit of self-reflection and a little bit of effort to surround himself with authenticity, maybe being even more open and creating the conditions for others to feel safe enough to come to him and to tell him the truth, as they see it, of course, would have saved him a lot. Would have saved him a lot. Ignorance is bliss, but listen, it's all well and good until we awaken to the folly of our ways, right? So in this Six of Pentacles, they're just highlighting that the world that you create for yourself is, well, the world that you create for yourself. And you will create not necessarily from your conscious mind, because you would never create these things from a conscious mind perspective. You wouldn't choose it. You're creating from the energetic patterns that are going on in your field, some of which, many of which, come from other times and places altogether, some of which are conditioned, some of which don't even belong to you because you've been hanging out with the wrong crew. You've got toxic people, toxic shows that you watch, toxic music, toxic actions, shadow energies, things that may not even belong to you altogether. Could even be attachments in your field. All of these are just flavoring the pot. The pot being your energetic field, and these things are calling in people, places, things, situations, ideas, and anything. It's creating your physical reality. It's also creating the trajectories that appeal to you and that will appear to you. And so you'll cut out, like if you have 100 opportunities written in the book of life for you, your mood, your shadows, your traumas, your inner child woundings, your conditioning, the people you surround yourself with, the food you eat, the behaviors you allow, all of these things are in the pot. And based on the way that those play together, they may only call into, of the 100 opportunities and potentials in your book of life for this moment, they may only be strong enough to call in about 20 of those things. And here you are, the conscious mind perspective, being like, oh, I only see 2 options, and so you got 20, but they're all kind of low vibe. They're not over here. They're not even as varied and high in vibration because you're working with some low energies, right? So Spirit is trying to tell you that's what they mean when they say you create your reality. You create your reality. So the question is, well, he's so funny. He's looking at me in the boat. I just looked down. He's looking straight at me. He's like, what are we? He's like, go on. So funny. So the idea, and look at these hungry ghosts, these attachments, these energies that are attaching to you. Yes, hungry ghosts, earthbound spirits, ghosts, astral plane baddies, whatever you want to call them. These things are also attached to you. You have addictions, you know, they like it. They can't get it anymore because they're not in the physical. But some of them, when they passed over, they really were still vibing with those addictions. And if they haven't, you know, made their transition and this and that, many of them are still hanging out here. And I'm telling you, when you engage in certain mind-altering substances, the drinking, the drugs, I know, oh my God, you're so unfun, Janelle, excuse you. I'm sorry. I'm just letting you know. Drink responsibly means something, okay? Shield up. Because I'm telling you, these things just boom. They, especially if it's your habit, if you're carrying around a lot of guilt, a lot of grief, a lot of remorse, a lot of shame, all these low vibe energies, we all do it. But that's why it's important for us to become aware that we're leaving ourselves open for these things to just come and chill and vibe with us. That's what it means to vibe with people. The same way you may go to the beach, fun, you and your buddies go to the beach, and then wow, there's another group over there, they like order delivery, they're just killing it on the beach, having a good time, and you know, they pass the vibe check. One of them comes over and says, hey, you guys, you want to join the party? And you're like, yeah. Everyone's hanging. Phew, we could see those beings because they're physical, they're in the physical, but you know, there are other non-physical beings that are trying to vibe with you too, and they don't care about asking for your permission. Hey, I'm gonna slide in here. Speaking of slide in here, look at this card yet. What? I was just thinking, oh, what's next, and see what the next card says. Watch and wait. So that's what I'm saying. They're throwing these cards out here, sliding right into your energy field. Next thing you're arguing, you're feeling low vibe. Oh my God, I don't know why I just blew up at my friend like that. It was so unlike me. That's right, because it wasn't you. Just letting you know. So you see, this is what the guides are saying. We need to become aware, being more sophisticated in our energy fields and in our process. It just requires awareness, and people of earth need to understand you are creating your own reality, whether it's your ailments, to which of these real estate agents I got in this whole office. I had to get the one who's lazy and a bum and always has an attitude. Why did I get that? Why did I get that one? I had this one who's a super seller and they're great, and somehow the one day I come, they're on vacation. You know, like, right? So you have to understand you're calling it in. And if you don't understand why, that's not because of spirit. You don't seek to be understood, you seek to understand. So you go inward, what's going on in my energy field that I'm not aware of at the conscious level, right? And when you practice good spiritual hygiene, meaning you're shielding, you're clearing, you're praying, you're calling in your angels and your guides to assist you and to keep you in high spirits, you do your best to cut out toxic people, toxic environments, toxic ideas, all this stuff. This is discernment. When you do that, that's how you take care of yourself. Because I hate to say it, but we never really have been living in a world where we can just go about our business. We're just now realizing that we have been underdressed. We've been unprotected in many ways. Now we do have our spirit teams that give us a lot of protection, but you also have to understand that part of your lesson is discernment. And so there are just some things that they are not going to shield you from, especially, if the lesson is, hey, what'd you learn? Don't talk to strangers. Hey, what did you learn? Stay away from that Ouija board or whatever. Hey, what did you learn? Don't get into this. You don't know it. Hey, what did you learn? You just went with your buddies and just popped these 2 pills, and you just went over here and you thought, oh, we're in the jungle, let's just try ayahuasca, right? Everyone's saying you can blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that person had a spiritual experience, and maybe in their soul chart they was designed to be that way. Not in your soul chart. You made a choice here, and you didn't do your due diligence, you opened yourself up, things came in, now your life is like crazy, you don't even understand why. Do you see what I mean? And so anyway, they're really trying to bring us into becoming more aware, and there are reasons why. All right, but we're taking step by step. If you notice, over the past few months, the guides have really been introducing it. They really started in February. We really started around February, March. If you go back to the videos that they were doing, they really started pulling us into this idea of awareness, and into this idea of stepping into greater understanding of self, and into this idea of understanding how the body works and learning to sense incoming energy. And they're bringing us step by step. So those of you who are still with us, thank you. We really appreciate it. Anyway, going back to the 6 of Pentacles, this is really, again, showing me how we walk this physical earth, And we create the physical reality that we have. We just need to remember and step into more awareness, because as we step into greater awareness, Spirit can then finally send us all this information. They're always sending us info, but we're just not even tuning into it because it's not a thing for us. So I'm here to let you know it's a thing. So please try to remain receptive to when the guides are saying, take care of your energy field. Clean, clear, clean, clear. And I do want to let you know that there are people here who are willing to help. Hi, my name is Janelle. I'm here to help. But I also want to let you know, I want to empower you to know that there are so many things that you can do on your own, wherever you are right now, in your car, in your bed, in your kitchen, at your desk, in the living room, super cutely snuggled up with a hot beverage. There are things you can do. God made you so independent and so sovereign that you have a map of all of the existence right in your in the palm of your hand. You just don't remember how to read it. And it's kind of like a radio. You know, the radio frequencies are all around. All you need is a tuner, and that's what we call a radio. We get a radio, we turn it on, ding! That's what it sounds like, ding! And then you tune into what station you'd like. But just because you're tuned into one station, you're not hearing the others, doesn't mean that the others aren't around you and aren't affecting you and this and that. So your job, to run with this analogy, is to learn to broaden your awareness so that you can at will tune into different things. And at the very least, keep yourself compartmentalized, safe, secure, as pure as possible as you walk through all of these frequencies. We all want to be in the cantina scene of Star Wars, but there are so many steps that you have to take as an individual to be able to get to that point. We all understand that Star Trek is reflective of the reality outside of this planet, and if you didn't know, now you know. But think about in Star Trek, I love Next Gen, think about in Star Trek Next Gen, there are certain planets that, you know, the prime directive, as Captain Jean-Luc Picard has said many times, they cannot interfere with the evolution of a species on certain planets. And then you see them go, the away team go down to some of these planets, and they have to hide, and they have to, you know, disguise themselves to be amongst the people, and they look just like us. They're not going to send Worf down there unless the planet is used to seeing, you know, people who look like Worf, right? They're going to send Deanna Troi, who looks kind of human, but she's a betazoid, you know, all these things, right? Well, she's half. But anyway, whatever. The point is that they can't interfere, okay? But right outside of our planet is Star Trek. And so everyone wants to be in Starfleet, and everyone wants to do this, but they can't even focus on themselves yet. They can't even tune into themselves. They don't know about their body. They don't know about their energy bodies. They can't even work properly with people of other races, of other genders, of other abilities, of age, different ages, of different neurodiversity. Like, people are struggling down here. So you see, when it comes time to evolve, this is what we mean, baby steps, but it's within your realm. If you're watching these videos that come through this channel, it is within your realm to really make a grand step up into joining the galactic consciousness, the galactic community. And part of that, your first step, is to really get in touch with yourself so that you can understand more of what the reality is. Ignorance is not a justification. It's a bliss. Ignorance is bliss up until a certain time, but it's no longer a justification once you get to a certain age. Let's put it that way. Now, I don't mean age of like human age in your spiritual awareness or consciousness. All right, we up here, okay? This is a channel of mastery, and that is not to say anything about me, because I'm taking notes on this too. It's to say about the guides that are coming through and what they're trying to accomplish. They're not talking to people. If you're on if you're watching these videos, you're not a beginner, okay? You're not like, what is this thing you call a soul? You're not there. You're capable of entertaining these energies, all right? Look at these cards, 4 of Swords. And this card, what is this? It wants to come out. Strength, okay? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Four of Swords is that rest card. It's exactly what's going on right now. We're in a time of rest, as I mentioned to you guys. Now, yes, you may want to know astrologically why, and there are reasons. Don't forget to check in with your friendly local astrological readers. You can also just sit and try to feel into the energies, ask your team. They can bring all this stuff to you, bring it to your attention in creative ways that work for you. You could ask to have it presented to you in dreams, whatever. But either way, right now is a time of rest and contemplation. We see the Six of Pentacles representing us as human beings really needing to step into greater awareness that not only do we create our own realities, but we are also in need of learning how to protect our energy fields, so that these energies aren't just swooping in and out, so that we're not getting swayed by our friends in the physical. One friend said this and now it's ruined our whole day, and now we're crying, and now we're this, and then we lash out at our husbands and wives, and then we ignore our kids because somebody made us feel like, look, you got to protect your energy field, right? So we're learning how to self-protect. At the same time, Spirit is showing this Strength card because they want you to know that not only is evolving the self and stepping into greater energies and greater mastery, and they want me to bring this card in under here. What is this? Freedom is yours. Sovereignty, right? Yep, off to the side. There we go. Not only is that what we're going towards, and not only do they want to encourage that, but they want you to know that in order to really embody this sovereignty and to become free and to liberate ourselves from these trappings, you know, that are all here because we're just unaware, you need to stay committed. Commit to the journey. Because look at the Strength card. There's this lion that's trying to go off, and this little lion is like, nope, you're coming back here. Come on back here. Just because something doesn't feel good doesn't mean you can give it up and go away. Now, sure, if you need to take a little bit of time, then okay. But understand that avoiding the shadow parts of ourselves, avoiding the pain, avoiding the grief, avoiding the shame, avoiding the remorse, avoiding the conflict, avoiding these things is what keeps you in the sandbox. That's what keeps us in denial. That's what keeps us split brain, fragmented, unconsciously divided, and sometimes consciously divided. He's back. I don't even want to talk about him. I don't want to think about it. Okay, that's a very conscious denial of an energy that's coming in to be resolved, okay? So, and I'm not saying you have to get back with anyone physically to have your forgiveness journey, to resolve things, because you do not. People in your physical, in these events, they only represent the energies that you have going on. When you heal the energies that are going on inside, the low vibe energies, the low self-worth, the fear-based energies, the anger, the this and that, when you resolve those and you heal those, it's like clearing a structure in your energy field. It's like scraping off certain things from your template. It's clearing away and transmuting certain geometrical patterns and structures, whatever. And what happens is now there is no structure within your energy field for these lower vibes to attach to and manifest as these people, places, things, situations, and ideas that bring you pain. So you see, it's an inside job, inside job, inside job. It's always inside job. You only look outside of yourself to see, hey, is there an issue? Oh, yes, there is. All right, let me go inside. Hey, I totally wanted to pop off with this person who did this. Oh, let me go inside. Oh my gosh, I just got fired. Let me go inside. Oh, what's happening? Oh, what's happening? That's what we have to be doing. All right. When you look at your bank account, for example, that's not telling you what you're worth. That's not telling you what you can accomplish in the future. That's just telling you, hey, this is what you have been doing. This is the result of what you have been doing. That's it. But we make a mistake and look at our bank account and think, hey, this is what you're going to be at forever if you're lucky. You're not going to get fired tomorrow. You're not going to lose everything tomorrow. Maybe you are. You're such a loser because you only have 300 in the bank. What's wrong with you? We know that's not what it is. These numbers are just showing what you've been doing and how it's come into your bank account. That's it. So you don't like it? Go inside. What can I do to increase my abundance? What can I do to change my mindset? And that's what the physical world is good for. The body, you feel pain. Ouch. Oh my God. Why am I getting this rash? Go inside. That's it. Okay? Ouch. I can't move my arm back this much. What's going on? Go inside. And that's it. Okay? You get the point. Anything outside is just a reflection of inside. If it makes you angry to hear that, then your job is to seek to understand, not to seek to be understood. If Spirit tells us something, we don't just say, excuse you, Spirit. First of all, zip it. Now I need you to make this clear to me. I need you to speak my language. I need you to make it very, very accessible and understandable to me within the logical framework that I have created in this entire life, so that I can believe you. Spirit is like, I'm not out here to make you believe me. I'm out here to provide you with evidence until you get tired of feeling a certain type of way and start to turn inside and then start to understand, why is this happening? Your journey from why is this happening will give way to, why am I doing this? Okay? Why am I creating this? How can I love myself? How can I bring more love and awareness and mercy and grace and compassion to self, so that I can clear, look at this tower, so that I can clear these things. And it's interesting because these cards are saying the same thing. Trust the great mystery. Hey, something pops up. What's this? Knight of Swords. That's the stimuli. That's the life event. That's what happened. Tower card. Fix it. Right? Sovereign and freedom. This is what you will get if you can move forward. All right? Off to the side, we have clear vision. You can bring that here. Get a new perspective, right? Get a new perspective. A Course in Miracles, whoop whoop, defines a miracle as a change in perception. The guides have recently been reminding us so many times, forgive me if I keep repeating all these things, but we're just trying to get it in there. They keep reminding us. Hold on. Let me just look in for a quick second, guys. I was going to say what they keep reminding us, but they're saying something else, so I'm just going to switch over. You know me, I'm like, wait, but I want to say. They're saying what you resist persists, okay? What you resist persists. So that leads me to my next point. If you are feeling compelled to run towards any energy, remember, energy is just a person, place, thing, situation, or idea here in our physical, right? If you feel compelled to run towards an energy or compelled to run away from that energy, that is a dead ringer sign that you need to transform the way you're looking at that situation. That's where the healing point is, right? A change in perception. So what you resist is going to persist in your life. So if you keep feeling a certain type of way about someone, if you hate someone or if you hate something, that couldn't say healing needed louder, any louder. All right? Because things have no meaning. People have no meaning except for what you attribute to them. And you know that's the case because one minute you're so hot and heavy about this person or thing, and something happens and boom, now they could pass for grass. So the subjectivity of that shows you this is not a truth. What's more true is that there are no special relationships, as A Course in Miracles teaches us. The truth is your mom is no more special than that homeless guy down the block who's shouting at cars, God bless. But in your mind, there's a huge difference. Blood is thicker than water, Janelle, but doesn't make sense to God because we're all one. Number one, that we're all one. And number two, that falls apart when you start to understand the reality of multiple lifetimes. Oh my God. I can even point to that homeless guy down the block who's an alcoholic and shouts at cars because in my last lifetime, he was my father. Because there are many homeless people who do the same thing as him, but they're not manifesting in my reality. And they probably have. I haven't taken 2 looks at them, but I noticed that guy long enough to make a judgment about him. Yeah, that's because energetically speaking, you know each other. Okay, so you have to understand, you probably had more lifetimes with that guy than you had with your mom in this lifetime. So there goes your idea of a special relationship of one person being more than, so we have to understand we're trying to stretch our minds beyond the learning that we've been given in this lifetime. Because this is not your first rodeo, especially if you're watching these readings. And if it's if you're in a place where you're like, it's kind of making sense, some things I don't know, you're still here. If you're like, I get it, you're definitely here. If you're like, what the is she talking about? There's enough of you in here to manifest this reading into your reality and for you to watch it for any length of time. I would encourage you to sit with yourself and delve deeper, because the energies are here for you. You've attracted it. Just because the conscious mind is struggling, or it doesn't seem real, or it doesn't whatever, it's not a reflection on the veracity of the information being presented to you. It's more of a reflection on where your mental framework is at this time. And our mental framework, to a large degree, is determined by our socio-cultural conditioning. Okay? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. When we look into your past, we see, oh, okay, you have some heavy, adverse religious conditioning. You have heavy, adverse experiences with torture and all sorts of stuff. So it's going to also further mold your mindset. So we're out here, wherever you are, wherever you find yourself, that's where you are. And your job then is to look up or in or whatever you want to say and ask to be guided to the path of your health and well-being, and then keep it simple. Yes, you can go dance naked under the moonlight. Yes, you can go drink this and that. Yes, you can go whatever you want to do. Light 10 candles, but you have to understand that when you were born into this world, you were born with your cute little body, and that's it. And that you are very powerful in and of yourself. Your job is to remember that power. And one day you will wake up and realize, holy crap, I really have been in a world, in this timeline, in a world that just is not conducive to waking up. But I had a desire on the inside, and I put it out there, and I allowed it to come to me in very creative ways. I remained ideologically flexible. I allowed myself to release when prompted. I allowed myself to rest when prompted. I allowed myself to receive when prompted. And whenever I had issues with any of those things, I understood that I needed to look inside and see where the source of my resistance was. And sometimes I needed help. And I was directed to people in the non-physical to do just that. And I was open to it. And sometimes the lesson was to be about myself and to not open up to just anybody. But it's my job to practice my discernment. And that's all there is to it. Alrighty? What else? And I love this. This is all coming in. I mean, it's always here, but I love that it's coming through here in the moon in Virgo, because we know with Virgo energies, analytics, we get a little bit of a boost to being able to analyze things, to look at things, to consider things. Of course, we're also in Scorpio season, so we've got emotions upon emotions, shadows upon shadows coming through. But again, right now feels a little bit like a nice little break, and I love it so that we can take some time to apply some analysis and feeling. Look at this. I love this. Temperance, that's spirit coming through. And it almost looks like this is you, and that's you as well, same girl. But you see, spirit is bringing this blanket. It looks like a blanket. No, it looks like a little bit of a parasol or some type of covering. Imagine it's this dress. Spirit is bringing it down for you right now. And then look, it covers you. Think about this as donning the mantle of God, the protection of God. As you delve into your cogs, you look inside of yourself. See how her heart is there? Feel your way through. Look at this pocket watch. It's time. Divine timing is providing for you, to take a look at yourself. Look at this Nine of Swords showing all your cute little eyeballs. But notice your eyeballs here are closed. Her eyes are closed, but she's feeling into her body. Of course she is, because look at this. Look at all these cogs, the things that are spinning inside, the things waiting to be understood. And her little hands are over her heart. It may look like she's trying to protect herself and stuff, but actually what she's doing is she's giving herself a nice little hug. Because there we have the cute little heart. She's hugging herself. And Spirit's blanket is so lovingly wrapped around her. And look at this, the Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. Look at how she took all these cute little eyeballs, nine pairs of eyes, by the way, and she turned it into these 9 little flute-looking things. 9 of Cups. What's she doing? She's allowing herself to be vulnerable. She's allowing herself to look within. And what does that do? That gives her the ability to come out of this season, out of this rest, and then out of Scorpio season as well, with greater awareness, understanding, compassion, love. They're like, don't forget those cards. Okay, we're coming. What time is it? ¿Qué hora es? Okay, 50. Okay, all right. Let's pull some of these cool cards. Thank you. Excuse me. And then we'll leave off here, enjoying this. I just felt like a pool. Is anyone in the pool today? Someone's in a pool. Spirit has your back. Ooh, ooh. Surrender now. Ooh, ooh. Sweet results await. Yes. Ooh, ooh. I love it. This is exactly what the reading's about. Aw, look at her. So cute. I definitely feel I'm getting a lot of feelings of abandonment and rejection and disappointment from you guys. And I'm so sorry, right? Believe in yourself. I love this. I'm so sorry. These are definitely emotions that are out here. We are out here feeling it. Please don't mistake my messages as being flippant or cavalier or frivolous or uncompassionate or what are apathetic, or what are words? Don't feel that way. This is not to say, oh, just get over it. It's not. It's actually to say, hey, this is the journey. This is the journey. This is what it is. And then we acknowledge it's not easy. We understand that. But it helps to have a game plan. It helps to get some ideas, some expectations on the table. And as we delve into it, and look at this card off to the side, shake things up. Yes. This is what's happening. And when you have these feelings, disappointment, all of that, look at this doorway. This is how we get through, right? When you have these feelings and the grief, and when you're lost in them, you also have to have the compassion for self to know this is all par for the course. It's okay. There's a plan for this. There's a plan for this. Feel the feelings and let it out. Just avoid reacting. Remember, as the guides keep telling us, there is full understanding and full encouragement by the powers that be to have initial reactions. Have the initial reaction, feel it. Get angry, get sad, think the mean thoughts, do this, whatever comes up. You can't fight that. That's what comes up. That's it. Then observe them. And then make a choice on how to respond. That's all we're learning here. We're learning to become better responders by becoming aware. But what usually happens is people have something happen and then they go from 0 to 60. They go from stimulus, boop, to reaction. And there's no awareness in there. But a lot of regret later when they're like, oh my God, I did it again. And that's okay, you did it again, or it's all right. But next time, really do try to take a pause. Love yourself when these things come up. Sometimes people push away their initial reactions. I hate my parents. Oh, no, I don't. What am I saying? Ah, just kidding. I love my parents. I'm a bad daughter. And then it goes from there, No, it's okay to feel like you hate your parents. Maybe you really do. When we look in your energy field, it's like, actually, you do. Let's talk about it, right? Whatever the emotions are, acknowledge it. Make a choice. Understand that you can have these emotions and still make a choice that's in your best interest. And of course, you're going to call in your spirit team to assist you as you go. That's mastery, okay? That is mastery. If you're on this channel, then I'm assuming you're all about mastery. You're trying, we're out here. Oh my gosh, look at the next card. I love it. You have all you need to thrive right now. Exactly. Oh my God, stop. I'm going to show you these two cards. And then literally the way it says, keep your eye on the target and be the arrow. Do it now. Don't wait, okay? Oh my God, I got to do it now. Seize the moment. Carpe diem. All right. Anyway, you guys, King of Swords off to the side here. You can't see him, but off to the side. Make a decision for the better. You make a decision when you're more informed. You're more informed when you observe what's going on inside. You observe what's going on inside when something happens, and you set the intention to be able to observe it and make positive change in the world. Okay. All right, so thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and stop it now. This is your Moon and Virgo reading. Now is a good time to apply those analytics. We're taking a bit of a pause, and it's my pleasure to read for you and to offer you whatever assistance I can. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me that's all about you, or an energy healing session that's all about you, go ahead, check for my information. It's all there on Etsy. All right, slide into my DMs if you have a question about how to get that going, or if you're like, which reading is best for me, Janelle, and we'll check in with your team. But anyway, God bless you and have a great moon. Mwah.